I started taxidermy in late 80s, early 90s on my parents' kitchen table, which they loved. So I've been doing taxidermy since 1996, so almost it'll be 30 years next year. I was the president of the Pennsylvania Taxidermy Association for 4 years, was a director for 3 years, and served as past president for a year. I'm at the age where I need to pass some stuff on to other people. Taxidermy in the 90s was a secret. Nobody would share anything, and then the internet came. We have to log it in, make sure it's properly tagged. Then after we log it in, it'll get skinned out, fleshed, salted, tanned, shaved, form prepped, and then the mounting process will start. It takes me 15 to 20 hours from start to finish to mount a deer. So a lot of the older taxidermists, we had to take a test, and we had to pass the test. Now there is no test. Anybody can pay $100 to the Department of Agriculture, and technically you're a licensed taxidermist with no experience, which I don't agree with at all. I mean, we had a rigorous test we had to pass, and now you don't have to. And I think that's a lot of reason why there's some cheap guys out there, is because they don't have the experience. And in the 90s, I was a nobody. I just got my license, wasn't established. I took 101 deer that year. 30 years later, 2 state championships, mounted thousands of animals. I took in 30 deer last year. So the prices have increased. The deer back in the 90s were $295 to mount, and now what I charge is $795. And the thing with the pets, when the pet dies, the owner is so attached to that pet, and they're so distraught, and they're not really, to me, I don't think they're thinking straight, but they want to get it mounted, and you give them a price, which is an astronomical figure, because I don't like working on them. When they would pay $5,000 to have a cat done, and they'd pick it up and take it home. What they do with it after that, I don't know. But I would never have a pet mounted. So these skins here have been fleshed and salted. The ears turned inside out, the nostrils turned inside out. So this is the very first step of the tanning process. They'll stay in the tanning solution for 3 days. They'll come out of the solution, then we'll shave them down, thin them down, put oil on them, and then they're ready to be mounted. So these we're just gonna wash and put in the pickle solution. So on the bigger animals, like an elk, their hide is really super thick. So they'll get shaved one time and then put back in here and then shaved again. Because their skin's like a ½ inch thick. It's pretty thick. So at this point, the skin is stable. It won't have hair slippage. It won't smell. The bugs can't get to it. This is basically leather right now. Tanning solution plumps the hide up, which allows you to shave it to make it thinner. There was 1.2 million hunters in Pennsylvania, which was a lot, which is a lot of animals. I think last year the license sales was right around 600,000. There was more hunters, there was more deer. We have less hunters and less deer. And if you didn't apply for a doe tag the first day in the 90s, you wouldn't get a doe tag. They'd sell out because there wasn't that many. This wildlife management area here, they gave 60,000 doe tags out this year. 60,000. And their license went on sale middle of July and ran through till the end of August before they sold out. In the early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, their tags would sell out in a week. So less hunters, but selling more tags to recoup money that they lost from less hunters, which biggest thing with the whitetails is they're overhunted. And that's strictly my opinion. You just don't take the skin and put it on the mannequin. There's a lot of work that needs done, and glue. The biggest thing to visually look at a deer, you want it to look alive. You want the eyelids to look relaxed. You don't want a wide-eyed deer. You want detail inside the nostrils. You want the nose to look soft and fleshy. You want to have a nice ear butt. You just don't want to jam the ear on there. To do finish work on a deer, once it's mounted and cleaned, I can usually finish one in about 2 hours. So I'm just putting this base layer on here just to even all the skin tones out. This is the finished dye, and this is the non-finished dye. So I don't have anything left that I originally mounted. I do have a wood duck in at my mom and dad's house that I won my state championship with. I haven't competed for several years just because I'm so busy here. And when you compete, it takes a lot of time away from the shop. That's the thing with this business. You have to be in the shop. This deer's unprocessed, and this deer here is finished. That's a completely finished whitetail that comes out of our shop when that one's ready for pickup. That one's mine. The reason I mounted that deer, one, it was my biggest, but even if it was my smallest, I would have mounted that because that's the year my brother was killed. First deer, a lot of guys will get mounted. Biggest deer they ever shot, they'll get them mounted. But for me, the deer that I have mounted, which I don't have many mounted, they're small buck. They're not super big buck is the memory. If I killed it with my brother, killed it with my dad, to me it's not so much does it have to be a trophy deer, it's got to be a trophy duck. The stuff that I mount is more so sentimental memory type stuff. You hang it up on your wall 12 feet away, you're not going to see it. Sometimes I question myself, why did I put all this time into something when it's going to hang 12 feet up on the wall and you're not going to see it anyway. But I'm a perfectionist, so if something doesn't look good, it's not leaving here. It's going to be a nice mount. I like the eyes on that. Taxidermy isn't like going and buying a pair of jeans. You know, they're all made the same. So if you're going to go buy a pair of jeans somewhere for 20 bucks and buy the same pair of jeans somewhere else for 10 bucks,